what's up everybody? This is Jose from Florida Hood Blogs. This video is about Bonita Springs, Florida. But to talk about Bonita Springs, Florida, first we need to talk about Guatemala because so many people have come from Guatemala to Bonita Springs. A lot of them were lied to. They thought that they're going to make so much money and it's just a great place. However, they were misinformed about the reality of what would expect an illegal immigrant in the United States of America. Look at this comment that I woke up to today on my YouTube channel. Naples and surrounding areas are good for illegals coming from their hellholes. You guys talk about the beaches here in Naples. These beaches are garbage. I come from Cuba. It's a beautiful country with some beautiful beaches. Guatemala is by no means a hellhole. It is a beautiful country, hard-working, beautiful people. Nobody leaves a beautiful country to go work like a slave in another country if they have a beautiful home and a beautiful place. Most of the people who are coming from Guatemala as immigrant labor are coming because they live in the farms, they're poor, so they can buy a truck and some equipment for their farm, but they by no means care about living the way us poor people live in the United States. They have a beautiful country and they're saving up money so they can go back. A lot of them lived in the countryside in a really rural, poor place. The majority of them, however, don't need to leave their country because they're all set. So let's get right into this. Bonita Springs, Florida. Bonita Springs, Florida is situated between Naples and Fort Myers, right on the Gulf of Mexico. It has its own beaches, it's got its own islands. It is a beautiful city in its own right. It has a beautiful historic district, and there are a lot of people from Guatemala. Most people think Hispanic, Latino community is mostly Mexican. That used to be the case 10-15 years ago. Right now, most of the immigrants in Bonita Springs are from Guatemala. Historic district of Bonita Springs is the Hispanic side of town. They put up sidewalks, they put up roads, they put up palm trees. They really did an amazing job in making the historic district of Bonita Springs look the way it deserves, because it's got that small town feel that a lot of cities in Southwest Florida just do not have. You have a lot of rental units. The Rosemary area of town, which I've done some drive-through videos, you can go into my channel and look for those videos. The housing is not too expensive for Southwest Florida standards, although there are houses that during Hurricane Irma had water to the windows, and they are in the market right now between $170,000 to $230,000. I think that's insane, and I think that the buyers that are buying these houses are not aware that those properties were really heavily damaged during Hurricane Irma. And I love the town. It's a beautiful place, and they've really done an awesome job of restoring the whole entire downtown district. There's a section of Bonita Springs called San Carlos Estates on the north side of town. You can get a few acres out there. You can get a lot of land out there, and that's awesome. That's where they built a new school as well. There's a new high school in Bonita Springs. Now, it used to be Bonita Springs and Estero were together, and they built Bonita Springs their own school, even though the city is only about a third Hispanic, but the school system is about twice that. A lot of my friends have put their kids through private school because the school system is about a C-class school. They're not A and B schools. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not perfect either. If you care about really good schools and your kids have to be in the absolute best schools, you're going to be a little bit south in Naples or North Naples, and the housing is much more expensive in that area. On Bonita Beach Road, east of 75, like 3 or 4 huge brand new communities that are all golf communities. Houses start from like the high 300s all the way up to the $800,000 range. They're big, beautiful houses. There's a lot of nature out there. On the north side of Bonita Beach Road, you have areas that are wildlife preserves, so if you like nature, that's really good. And they're really good communities. I also did on my channel a drive-through of Village Walk in Bonita Springs, so you can go to my channel and look for that video, and it's a drive-through of the community. They even have their own gas stations in there, which is really awesome, because if it's a hurricane and your community has its own gas station that's private, it's great for hurricanes. And you're right on 75, so if you're going to go anywhere in Southwest Florida, you have traffic-free access to Interstate 75, so that makes those communities really great. And if you do have kids, just keep in mind that they're not going to go to school with a bunch of other rich kids. They're going to go to school with like regular kids, and a lot of those kids are going to be struggling to learn English, so I'm not sure how the school systems are dealing with all that. But overall, crime is not a problem in Bonita Springs. What is a problem in Bonita Springs for poor people is the cost of housing. There's a few people walking around. There's always activity. It's not a completely dead town, but it's definitely not a place where you have to be concerned about crime. I walk around Bonita Springs at night. I've never felt afraid. I've never felt threatened. It's a really nice community. It's very walkable. The whole entire downtown district is very walkable. In the wintertime, when more people come from up north, there's always something going on in downtown Bonita Springs, whether it's a festival or it's an event or a concert. There's always something going on, and the crowds are huge. So right now, the city looks kind of slow. Most of the people you're seeing walking around are local. That will change in season time. When the snowbirds come down, they will outnumber the locals. Property taxes in Bonita Springs are kind of high. This is the brand new library that they just built. It's a beautiful library. I don't know what's going to happen to the old library, but this is the new library. It's a big building, and if you look way at the end of the road, they're building a huge apartment complex, which people are already going crazy about to move into there. I think if they keep building some of these big buildings, like a gentrification's about to happen. This is the City of Bonita Springs Historic Banyan. The sign is in Spanish, and it says, "Please respect our banyan tree." I do not know what that implies, but please do not disrespect the banyan tree in Bonita Springs. There's a lot of really old giant trees in the city, and this is the biggest one. There's an entire city block dedicated just to this tree. I don't know what the city code is for disrespecting their banyan tree, but I will tell you this: if you're building a house in Bonita Springs, I used to pull permits in Bonita Springs. I used to pull permits in Bonita, Collier, everywhere. The permit process there is expedient. It's fast. You go into their little little building, and you're like, "Hey, bro, I want to pull a permit, man." And then they're like, "Yeah, dude, we'll hook you up, bro. And we're gonna make it easy, man. Let's just throw these papers away." And they'll really work with you if you're trying to build a house. Their inspections are quicker. So if you're thinking about building in Bonita Springs, it's a lot easier. You can go right in there and you can talk directly to them. That's not going to happen in Collier County. That's not going to happen in Lee County. By the way, even though Bonita Springs is Lee County, they manage their own permits independently from the county, so they have a lot of control. And basically, they make it easy. They don't make it into a nightmare like Estero. If you're trying to build a new house in Estero, it is a nightmare. They have so many elevation certificates and regulations and inspectors, and everything's got to be certified. And nearby Fort Myers Beach was just a nightmare that the company that I worked for didn't even pull permits there. If you were in Fort Myers Beach, you were on your own. Fort Myers Beach is a horrible place to pull permits. Now, I will give you a warning if you're building your own house. If there is an HOA, your HOA and the city code may not correlate. In other words, what the city approves may not be what the community approves, and what the community approves may not be something that the city will permit. Areas of Bonita Springs where I would not want to buy a house or build a house. I would not want to live in Rosemary. It is way too overcrowded. Anything between Bonita Drive and Rosemary, the whole entire community is called Rosemary. It's all duplexes in the front and rental units, and then there's trailers in the back. I would not want to live back there. It is way too overcrowded. On Bonita Beach Road and Imperial, on the northeast corner across from Home Depot, that area, the water was to the windows. So like Quinn Street, Chapman, all those streets back there, I wouldn't touch that. You couldn't give me a house for free back there, because after Irma, the water was to the windows, and they clean them up and they're back on the market and people are buying them, and they don't know what they're buying. The Imperial River is another flood problem. If you're going to be near the Imperial River, make sure the house is really, really high, because the Imperial River does flood, and it was a nightmare for everybody in Bonita Springs. So make sure that you're looking at an area that doesn't flood. I would talk to the neighbors and make sure that that property does not flood, did not flood during Irma, because if it did and you're buying the property, it could happen again and you would be out of a lot of money. There's a mobile home park called Imperial Harbor in the north side of Bonita Springs. It's 60% vacant in the slow season. I don't like Imperial Harbor at all. The mobile homes in there are going for a lot of money, and it just doesn't have there's nothing nearby. Like, everything is in other places, so I don't like that area at all. Imperial Harbor Trailer Park, I don't like it. It's empty in the summer. It's a ghost town, and in the winter everybody comes back. I don't like that place at all. Bonita Shores is technically not part of Bonita Springs city limits. I like that area a lot. There's the numbered streets that go from like 1 to 8, and there's a fire station there. There's a few restaurants in the front, a bunch of streets north of Bonita Beach Road that have golf access. I'm not too thrilled about that area. You may find a property you like. It's pretty quiet in there. There are a few rough patches here and there. It's not all perfect, but I don't like that area too much myself. It's not that it's bad on crime or anything like that. I just don't like the way it's laid out, where all the streets are dead end and there's nothing but, I don't know, I just don't like that area. If I were going to buy a house in Bonita, it would probably be in Bonita Shores or somewhere like Palmyra, like out, you know, those big communities that I talked about east of 75. All right, let's head to the beach. The best thing about Bonita Springs, Florida is that you have your own beaches. You have estuaries, you have islands. If you like fishing, kayaking, anything nature related, the Estero Bay is right at the doorsteps of Bonita Springs. You can access it without too much traffic. If you're in Bonita Springs, you can get on Lover's Key, you can get on Little Hickory Island, or Barefoot Beach, which is part of Corler County, not Lee County. It's not part of Bonita Springs City, but you have Barefoot Beach right there. There's so much to do if you are a nature lover. If you like fishing, it will not disappoint you. Estero Bay is packed. There's Mound Key, which I did a video for on my channel about Mound Key. It's not really Bonita Springs, but it's just north of Bonita Springs in Estero Bay. Yeah, if you like nature, if you like fishing, you will not be disappointed with Bonita Springs. The beaches are some of the best in Southwest Florida, and they're not really like in Bonita Springs, but come on, it's like right next to Bonita Springs. Let's not get technical here, people. I think if you're going to move to Bonita Springs and you like boating, you like fishing, you like being out on the water, you're going to love it. It's great. That's probably the best thing about Bonita Springs. When you're heading on Bonita Beach Road, it has like a little beach town type of feel. It has a little bit of a beach feel to it. It's not like Fort Myers Beach. I think Fort Myers Beach has a more beach town feel to it. But if you keep going on that causeway, you get to Fort Myers Beach, and there's bars, and there's people, and there's a pier. And it's another one of those places that it gets so packed in the winter you can't even go there. But if you're a local in Bonita Springs, you'll definitely be able to enjoy it in the summer when there's less people. So Bonita Springs, that's probably the best thing about it, is being on the Gulf, having all these little back bays and estuaries to fish, to go boating, to enjoy it with the family. That's the best thing Bonita Springs has got going for it, and it's probably one thing you're definitely going to like about this town. Aliens have been seen in Estero Bay at night. And the guy that told me this story was a little bit drunk. The way he looked you in the eyes when he said the story. Well, anyways, he was fishing in Estero Bay, and he was a little drunk, I'm not going to lie. And there was aliens that came out, and they swam on the shore for a while. And he ran away, and he was pretty sure he was going to get abducted. So I would definitely watch out for that in Bonita Springs. But this guy's story really made a lot of sense to me. And if you're in Bonita Springs, I would definitely watch out. So I spent the entire weekend in Fort Myers Beach talking to homeless people and other people who were probably intoxicated. And I came up with a list of things to look out for. The number one thing you're going to look out for is people in Speedos. Aliens wear Speedos. Now, why aliens are wearing Speedos on the beach, I am not sure. But these homeless people were absolutely terrified. And I'm pretty sure there's a good reason for it. Come on, people. If aliens were really going to come, why wouldn't they choose Bonita Springs? Another story that's going around about Bonita Springs that's not very credible is about a golfer being mauled by an orca whale on a golf course. And I can guarantee you that it was not an orca. I mean, that's insane. An orca? Come on, guys. We all know that it wasn't an orca on a golf course mauling people. We all know the truth. That is a stupid story. It had to be a giant iguana. Now, I know you've seen regular iguanas. They're all over Bonita Springs. Have you ever seen a giant iguana? Because of the orcas that I mentioned earlier on the golf courses, people are just snatching up properties on golf courses because they think they're going to be able to sell these orcas to a Cuban orca trafficking organization out of Hialeah, and they're going to make so much money on the orca blubber to put in lamps and in candles and stuff like that. And you know what? It's all a bunch of misinformation. There are no orcas on these golf courses. You need to watch out for is the giant iguanas, because there's so much information out there that is wrong. I mean, these people that own these golf course communities make up these stories about how there's orcas in the lake, and then you buy the property and you think you're going to be able to find an orca trafficking organization that's going to pay you all this money for these orcas. And you know what, dude? The orca oil doesn't really make good candles. It actually smells pretty bad. Absolute worst thing about Bonita Springs, in my personal opinion, is the housing conditions and the overcrowding in the Latino neighborhoods. There's just too many people living in properties, and it doesn't contribute to making the city a beautiful place. There was already too many duplexes, too many multi-units. In the long run, it harms the community, because when there's ownership, there's pride, and makes you want to make your neighborhood, your street beautiful. And when an area is nothing but rental units, regardless of the demographics, when an area is nothing but rental units, it just creates a situation where the neighborhood goes into a downfall. It doesn't matter how expensive these properties get, there's nothing beautiful about it. It's just overcrowded. Really, in the long run, nobody cares about the community, and that's what it's about. Investors do not care about the community. All they care about is having their rent money. But it's a great little city. It has charm if you're looking for it. It's quiet. It's close to everything. And it is a nice town. And the people are great in Bonita Springs. Hardworking, good people. You know the water? See it?
That's not a shark. That's
red. Oh, it's a big redfish.
Yes, it is.
All right, we're on a red.
Oh my god, he's huge.
Hey, he might be legal size.
We're casting over here. He's humongous.
I know. He's hooked right on the edge of the mouth there.
I can't even move where I'm at.
Come on.
I can grab it. They don't have teeth, do they?
No. Oh, that is beautiful.
Look at that. Oh, it does have teeth. Crap, it hurts.
Yeah. Add a little piece.
We got him. He might be legal.
I'll have to get
God.
tape measure.
Measure him.
Here, hold.
Thank you for holding my camera. All right.
That is beautiful.
Nice catch.
That is beautiful there.
This is Lover's Key Pier. Just so you know where I'm at, guys.
23 inches, I believe. Let me grab it.
Yeah, I got the book there.
26.
18 to 23?
I think so.
I think it's 18 to 28.
28?
Yeah.
Check, it's 26.
26?
Yeah.
No, he's bent his tail. It's 23 now.
I think it's
27.
18 to 27.
Yep.
Between 18 and 27, right?
Yep.
Guess what?
He's 26.
26. It's legal. All right. Hey, all right. Awesome.